Hello and welcome back to our YouTube channel Natural Pure by Nature. In our previous video, I talked about different growing media and the features that you have to consider when you want to choose a potting substrate. One of the features was physical feature, that including size, texture, shape, and physical arrangement of the growing media particles. All these features result in a good balance between airfield porosity and water holding capacity of your growing media. The other one was chemical properties, including pH, electrical conductivity, cation exchange capacity, and nutrient availability. These features actually helps the growing media to provide nutrients to your plant roots. And the other one was biological features. If you have microbial activity stable in your growing media, this is gonna result in a good balance between carbon to nitrogen ratio. Otherwise, you're gonna face a nitrogen drawdown or nitrogen deficiency. The other important thing that you should consider in biological features of your growing media is that the growing media should be free of seeds, of weeds, or any seeds of unwanted plants. These three features plus a balance between performance and cost helps you to decide if a potting substrate suits you or not. Also, in the previous video, we talked about three common organic substrates, peat, coir, and bark, and we looked at three important factors in these three organic growing media: water holding capacity, airfield porosity, and also cation exchange capacity. Apart from these features, when it comes to choosing a growing media, you need to consider aspects like your crop and pot size. What is the potting method that you use? If you want to use a starter fertilizer or not. What is your irrigation system? Is it a dripper system? And also, what conditions you want to grow your plant? Is it open field? Is it protected cropping situation? Is it under a warm weather or cold weather? These are the features that you need to consider. Also, you need to consider the features of a good growing media. So all together help you to choose the right growing media for your plants. Now peat. So peat can be roughly divided into two types, white and black peat. White peat is not white in color as you can see, but it is yellow-brown. So we can see it here and also in a zoomed photo here. White peat forms the uppermost layers of the bark and is therefore exposed to only very low pressure, so that the degree of compaction and the composition is small. So we can see here that the pores are bigger. It shows that it was exposed to a low pressure. What is the main purpose of using white peat in growing media industry? White peat actually can be cut milled to produce peat fractions. And also, because white peat is younger, it has a higher water holding capacity compared to black peat. Now we go to black peat. So black peat comes from the deeper, more decomposed peat layers, as you can see here and here. So black peat is black in color. But you can see the pores here are smaller. That shows the pressure was higher compared to white peat. Now, how we extract peat. Now we're gonna see a short video about how to extract peat.
So how do you cut peat? Well, you need to use tools like this here. Now this is a peat cutter here. There are other associated tools with the job, but this is the main one we use to harvest out the ground. And we just take it like this, we'll dig it out as such, through, take it out, plop it out on the side, and then we just hopefully get the weather, not always the case in Ireland, to dry it out. Roughly take about 3 months to dry out. We'll then bring it back to the distillery, we'll put it in the peat shed for storage, and that'll do us for the next year. So, the peat in Islay, very different to the peat in mainland Scotland.
Okay, so as you've seen in the video, he extracted peat and then he put them aside for drying. But also an important process that they do is after extraction, black peat, it needs to be frozen right through. Because low temperature causes the peat to form the pores needed to absorb water and air. So as I've mentioned in the previous slide before the short clip, I showed that the pores of the black peat are so small, so actually they're not able to absorb water and air. What low temperature does, actually, it helps the pores, the small pores of black peat, to to get bigger and to get a little bit consistent because um, we need a good growing media, as mentioned before, has a physical structure that provides a balance between airfill porosity and water holding capacity. And that is exactly what we expect from peat as well. So low temperature helps that pores, the small pores of peat that you can see here, to get the structure that we want. What we want is this look. This is the look that we want of a good peat-based growing media. The other reason that they put the peat exposed to low temperature is that frost can cause the humic acid in black peat to decompose. Humic acid, as you know, it has a high cation exchange capacity in binding nutrients and specifically making the nutrients available to the plants during their growth phase. This is another important thing that low temperature does to black peat. Now we get to the main purpose of this video, which is how to prepare peat-based potting substrate. Before we get to that point, I just want to say that the recommended rates that I'm giving here are general, and you as a grower need to consider what suits your plants and the condition that you are growing your plants. So after this, what we need to prepare. So this recommendation also is for a general purpose peat-based growing media because as you know we have different mixture of peat-based growing media. But this one I'm considering a peat, maybe a pH adjusted. It's better I see it, a general purpose like pH adjusted peat-based substrate. So what we need? We need a wetting agent. You need to add a wetting agent to your substrate. It's my general recommendation because wetting agents help uh, the water when you irrigate to spread consistently and evenly, as you can see here, inside the particles and through the particles of your growing media. So wetting agents and then fertilizers, as you can see here. So the blend of fertilizer that you're gonna use should have a good blend of microelements, a good blend of macronutrients, and also if you want to use a liquid fertilizer, you're okay. Why? Um, in this video, I'm talking about granular fertilizer, but if you want to use a liquid one and you're sure that the liquid fertilizer can provide a good blend of macro and micro elements, that's totally fine. If you are growing flowering plants, also you would better to have a special fertilizer for these plants that ensures a good color and controlled growth as you like. Now, what are the steps? So, step one, spread the peat in a clean area in your garden, nursery, or your home. So, spread it evenly as you can see in this photo, and then we start with the bedding agent. The brand that I'm showing here is not for advertising. Actually, this is the brand and this is the product that I always suggest to my customers and they're very happy with it. So I'm just showing this product here. Based on this product that I'm using here, this bedding agent, the recommended rate for this granular bedding agent is 1 kilogram per cubic meter. And step 3, we go forward with micronutrient fertilizer. So this one that you can see here is a blend of only microelements, and for this product, the recommended rate would be 750 gram per cubic meter. And then we proceed with macronutrients that here you can see we are spreading the macronutrients, a good blend of macronutrients, granular fertilizer, and for this product again, the rate would be 3 to 7 kilogram per cubic meter. Or if, as I said, if you like to use a liquid fertilizer, you're okay. My recommendation, based on the products that I've worked with, is, for example, a Peter's Professional from ICL. And if you want to use for continuous feeding, the rate would be 0.5 to 1.1 gram per liter. Or if you want to have occasional feeding, for example, 1 time per week, then the rate would be 0.8 to 2 gram per liter. So after adding all these ingredients to your growing media, step 5 is mixing. So please mix well. As you can see in the photos, mix well to spread and mix all the ingredients evenly in the growing media. So finally, we want this look. See all the ingredients like mixed very well and consistently with the ingredients of the growing media, the particles of the growing media. So it's very good. Now that you have the mix ready, you need to fill each pot or each container that you have with this ready to go potting soil. And then irrigation. Now, in this photo, you can see that we weighed the pot with the peat before watering, and the weight of this pot is 1013 grams. So we need to slowly water it and allow peat to absorb or soak up the water and expand. So we slowly started irrigating it. So you need to repeat the irrigation step a couple of times, even after you saw that the rainwater comes out of the pot, like keep watering for a few times. And then when we completed this step, we bait it again, and you can see that the weight of the pot after irrigation now is 1710. And this is a good indication actually, the difference between watered pot and unwatered pot. It's a good indication of when you need water your plants. I know for big nurseries or when you have a lot of pots, it's really difficult to weight all of them. But when you start at the start of your potting up, if you weight them and know the feel, that how it feels, then it is dried and it is fully irrigated. You know that look and you know that feel, so you know when is the watering time. About peat, irrigation time is really important because as you know, and I've mentioned in my previous video as well, if peat dries out, it wicks moisture away from the plant roots. And also always remember that when dry, peat can be very hydrophobic. This is the challenge that you don't want to face because when peat gets hydrophobic, it's really difficult to properly vet it again. So manage the irrigation to have a moist peat all the time. Thank you for watching and listening to me. If you like this video and you want to see similar videos like this, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Natural Pure by Nature. Or if you have any question, please don't hesitate to shoot us an email at info@natural.net.au. Bye!